All right, let's see if we can get in here. Casting a wide net. Okay. Fiona is talking to Gianna. Okay, and we'll see who shows up. Hopefully, we can bring a few in. Oh, let's see where Tom is. Try and reel him in.
Hi, did you just start a new room?
Yep, I just did.
Is this it?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's not quite full yet, but we'll see who shows up.
You know how it keeps bouncing when you try to come in?
I've heard other people affected by it.
Yeah, just in case anyone's listening, what I've been doing that works is if you type really quick in the comment section at the side and push enter, it will tend to keep you in and it'll stop bouncing you out.
Okay. Let me ask Tom real quick. I'm not sure if you're trying to shoot for, mainly Calvinist or if you're up for more people joining. I didn't realize you had started this up and started one up myself, so we kind of hit it midair. Do you want to try to merge it all, or?
Dude, we have this shirt. It's dry. So we dry it more than No, don't start first.
So it might be a bit too chaotic and stuff I'm running.
No, open that. Let's eat in there.
No, I don't want anything.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, well, we don't have to merge. That's your plan. We can keep the show separate. Not really merge. It's not a new feature. Just have everybody from one go to the other. Yeah, I actually slept through a big chunk of the, and that's being even after I think it started at some point. No, actually not afternoon. So here I'll pass the link along to Fritz in case he wants to hop over here, and yeah, we can otherwise keep it separate and let people bounce between. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's or I'm pretty sure he's hearing everything I'm saying, so he kind of knows that I'll keep my running and double fist hangouts and so on. But yeah, I think he Fritz, are you there?
Roger that. What's up?
Not sure if you wanted to keep going on what we were going before, if you want to join with the Calvinist crowd, or what you feel like going up to, but there are options.
What are the Calvinists talking about?
Well, not a whole lot yet, but they
Like a Calvinism debate?
I'm not sure they're wild about the Calvinism versus Arminianism debate per se. I've seen them get into it before. If you think it's what's that?
What did you call this one?
Okay.
Oh, it's Devil's Night, is it, tonight? Interesting. This should be a good night to get saved, Nadia.
I don't know
Love
anyone who actually calls it that, but I've heard it called that.
I used to call it that when I was younger.
Yeah. Oh, Devil's Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds like Tom's up for Calvinism versus Arminianism debate if you want to, and
I think your testimony should be that you got saved on Devil's Night 2014.
saved from what? Okay,
Saved,
sorry.
saved from sin.
Okay, yeah, and in the meantime, get put out on the street, die because I can't refrigerate medicine, blah, blah.
Yeah, at least you'd have Jesus with you on the street.
Yeah, right. I think, the only people named Jesus are going to be, working in a different profession. Okay. Let me deal with some things.
Let's see here. Okay, through here. Okay, Halloween coming up. Now, let's see. One of the strangest episodes recorded in the Word of God is King Saul's consulting a witch. King Saul consults a witch, the Witch of Endor.
Yep, I remember. Witch Endor, like Star Wars, yeah. What is the relationship to Star Wars anyway?
I'm not sure. I'm looking up the Witch of Endor here, trying to figure out what that's about.
Ooh,
Three-act play.
witchy woman.
Douglas James
See how
King.
high she flies. Sorry. God.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going down a rabbit trail here. I don't suppose you watched that video link I sent you yet about mines.
About minds? What?
Or souls, yeah. By inspiring philosophy. He makes great videos on YouTube, and he uses a lot of animations and stuff in them. He's got a lot of good videos. Inspiring Philosophy is his YouTube page.
Okay, let's see.
Wonder where Nephilim's been lately.
He showed up on somebody's, I think Benny from Europe's hangout earlier today. And who knows what his deal was. Oops.
Who's hanging out, Benna?
No, Benny from Europe.
How do I look for new people here? Or search? How do I search a new person in my thing so I want to find them and add them?
How do you search a new person where?
I just want to add somebody, so how do I find them?
There's a search function. Trouble is that you usually get a lot of garbage. Digging it out of wherever it buried them is near impossible.
Just don't see it anywhere. Okay. Little plus thing, invite people, or let's invite. Don't want to invite. Okay. Why don't you try trade, Nadia? I've done a lot of professional painting. That's good work.
What did you call it again?
Painting? Like,
Painting?
like with a roller, and a paintbrush.
Yeah, I guess I'd sign up, but I've never heard of anything like it. There's
It's
just,
the best.
well, no, I mean, the jobs that actually hiring to do anything like that for a long time. I mean, wherever they are on the job boards, they're not anywhere I can see them.
Times is tough, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, times are very tough. Well, of course, for those on the wrong end of the stick, let me aggress feel this. Make sure I have it circled. Oh.
Reprobates versus the elect. Round one.
Yep, I figured, I don't know. Got a cross between WWE and Halloween and everything else.
So what do you think about that Satanism, those Satanists that were in there earlier, like what they were teaching or whatever?
I think it's a little bit devoid of content. I mean, almost the only thing that distinguished it from, kind of like anarchism, individualism, and so on was basically the quote-unquote practice of using the symbol of the devil or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, that's not very compelling.
Yeah.
You might convince me of anarchism, might convince me of, well, okay, it's not truly individualism, but there are various notions of balance between individualism and collectivism. But, where does symbol even come into it? Why is it even relevant? That's foreign function and all to debate, but it's particularly as pertained to like philosophical positions and such, the symbols are not the big factor. It's not the A in a circle that makes anarchism. In fact, I'll bet that some number of languages, cultures, whatever, use a different word spelled differently for that. At the very least, ones that have different alphabets, like the Arabic abjad or Chinese, Japanese, and so on, or Hebrew. How do you spell anarchism in Hebrew? I don't know, but it's not with the letter A, because the letter A doesn't exist in Hebrew abjad. Well, we may have to carry it ourselves for a while. Are you, Well, where could I start? I was hoping to confront you, man, more about the trans things, but wasn't topically relevant. Arguing, that my, I guess, status is legitimate and whatever is, in some respects, an argument I shouldn't have to make, but, or, well, no, I should really have to make, but. Well, out of, I don't know, survival concern, or whatever you want to call it. You end up being forced to. Not sure if you're actually there, but. Well. I am. Yeah, sexual ethics would be a tougher nut to tackle because, of course, statements the Bible makes about those are much more direct. And, explicitly condemnatory. The way you'd have to kind of navigate around the issue might involve, quite a bit of scripture, I don't know, exegesis or whatever to play around with it. And, well, you could argue against the entire body of existing translations, and that's one that I guess in practical reality I have to presume I'm not likely to win.
Repeat that last one again.
The sexual ethics side of the argument is one that in practical reality I am just not likely to, well, I said win, but I really meant be able to effectively persuade.
Haha.
I think with respect to, sorry?
That's frustrating, isn't it?
Mm. Well, it depends on your point of view. I personally am a relatively patient, long-suffering person, so I mean, didn't I spend 20 years before I got shot down to get off the streets, to get the degree, to get the job, to get the money, to get the surgery, and then not far from the gate, get shot down. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a 20-year long arc. That's,
Yeah, let's say. Uh,
welcome, Tony.
I think the first thing you could do to start, straightening out that situation would be trust in the Lord. Put your trust in Him. And I think, no,
Well,
I'm not saying like, oh, everything's going to turn out roses for you or nothing like that. Certainly not. But I'm saying at least He will be on, for you. So,
maybe you can branch it out to like almost like questioning it from like a Tony. You're gonna love this one. Uh, are you turning into like Joel Osteen, where you convert to
no,
Christianity, you pray to God, and
no,
everything's gonna turn all right in your life? Or
no. But yeah, at least you'll have that hope in you. You know what I mean? Like even if, like at least if you have Jesus, like if you were even being beheaded, in front of your children for your beliefs or whatever, you would still have that strong hope and faith within you. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have the terror and fear in you. You'd have that strength of that hope in Jesus and God. You know. So it's just like it's nice to have that. Real nice.
yeah, there are a bunch of places to ask about that. I mean, I guess it's turning into an aesthetic question of sorts, or something where it's the hope. Well, the hopes are directed at something, right? And what are they directed to? In the case of the religion versus, well, various other things, like I had at least the hope that I'd be able to, I guess, finance my transition or something eventually. There's a question of, well, I mean, the extent that, or from the point of view of like, well, Christianity, the way you believe it, or with your doctrinal positions, or whatever you want to call it, the hope there would just rule out almost like the overriding life goal. The with respect to, say, anyone else who has their life goals and so on, their children to raise, their um, grand artistic accomplishments to produce or construct or whatever, their scientific discoveries to make. How is the hope and all that relevant? Well, I could hit 5 other points. Go ahead.
There's always more books to read. Right?
Sure, but
Sometimes you lose me a little bit, Nadia, and I kind of drift in and out of understanding what you're talking about.
I was going on about how different people have different goals in life, and you know, two ways this doesn't really fit is that in some ways the hope is, or what people have hope for, is already set, and in other ways, offering kind of one size fits all cookie cutter hope is not going to work either, right? So.
Yeah, but the hope you get with Jesus is you have hope that no matter if things are going good or if things are going bad, you have the hope that He works all things for your good. So even if you're going through fires and trials and stuff, you know that He's working that towards good for you.
Well, how can you actually like say that this is working some kind of good without the actual well good in life having any well without having any impact on the uh, goods in life and so on. I mean,
Well, I
I
would
guess
say
no, that's a question, but go ahead.
you start to see the pattern of it over time when you go through those periods, and like how he does pull through for you. Like he's not getting you a Lamborghini or nothing, like Joel Osteen said. But you know what? He might help you out with $20 for a cab or whatever. Like he pulls through and makes sure you have somewhere to sleep and something to eat, and does other things for you too, like moves people's hearts to act and move in certain ways. Um,
So there
and
are
and
material rewards.
he does reward people who diligently seek him, I believe, and he demonstrates it. I feel over time in your life, and you start to recognize it. Just like you start to recognize the consistency of his behavior, just like you would start to come to know like a friend, by recognizing their behavior, over time, and you get a sort of a better picture of them.
And these are effectively material rewards for, I don't know, belief in Jesus or converting to Christianity or some such, right?
Well, yeah, for instance, the Bible says that children are a gift from God, so um, we would see children as a gift from him that he's like entrusts us with. Not everybody gets children, so the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Yeah, but you weren't saying, children being gift from God was there. You were saying somebody might get $20 for a cab.
Well, yeah, you might. If you prayed about it and you had other people praying for you, and then maybe God would move someone's heart to give you some money, for a cab, and you found you just needed to have a cab that day, and someone just happens to give you $20 that day or whatever. Stuff like that will accumulate. Those situations accumulate and start to get into the hundreds and stuff like that.
Mm.
Where you trust on him and
Well,
ask him for something, and then he provides it. And it's not the secret. It's not new age, vibration drawing it to you from the universe or whatever. It's you ask your father for things and he gives you things. Just like as if a son asks a father for something, the father's not going to give him everything he asks for, but he does give him things.
I suspect there may be difficulty with effectively any kind of material reward for all this. And, well, where do I even start? I mean, let's take homeless shelters in the U.S. Like, they're by and large like all Christian, right? So outside of New York City, I don't think there is such a thing as a public government run homeless shelter in the U.S. Right? It's all Christian, except for the occasional Jewish or whatever, right? Literally everywhere outside New York City. And in this case, we should be witnessing, more. Or well, okay, we should be able to witness how much in the way of material reward, if any, happens, right? And in some respects, we'll have kind of a background expectation of chance and such, right?
Nadia, were you bringing up the Christian homeless shelters to prove my point or against my point?
Well, neither, to get an idea of where the evidence leads, right?
Yeah, because when you say Christian homeless shelters, like, you mean run by Christians?
Yes, where the gospel is preached and on pain of expulsion, and
On pain of expulsion? Really?
yeah, and I suppose also LGBT people are not allowed in and so on.
Nadia,
Yeah.
you all right? When you're saying, all right, witness that Christians should be witnessing to people all the time.
Oh, no, I don't mean it in that sense. No, I just meant it in the very general secular word use of the word. Sorry.
I'm just saying, when you say witness, what do you mean? I mean, because sometimes someone's trying to demonstrate things to people. Um, isn't necessarily going to mean to answer all the questions, or it may be just as simple as acting um, kindly and answering the questions the best they can answer them.
Sure, sure. And well, in this case, I meant to say that our sort of our way we could have like field observations of these kinds of material rewards materializing. I might be in a case of like the homeless and well, things like Christian homeless shelters and so on, right? So we can see people who are impoverished and do they get their needs met, right? So, well, in that case, I think we need to go Googling for whether chronic homelessness ever abates or whether it's persistent or well, help in the construction of the test if you can. I think it's people in need. They pray, right? Because they're in Christian shelters, and do the rewards materialize, right?
Yeah, in our in the city where I live, all the taking care of the homeless and stuff is generally done by Christians. They do the pancake, bacon, and egg breakfast in the one church, and they have lunches every two days out of the week at another church, and lunches and dinners 3 days a week at another church, and it's all the Christians feeding and taking care of the homeless.
Well, yeah. There was a question.
You ever tried going?
What? Sorry.
You ever gone to any churches for the like dinners and lunches and stuff like that? They're usually pretty good for that sort of thing.
I actually have in the past for while even dire straits than now.
Mhm.
And I suspect I might end up in similarly dire straits in the future, or worse even. Actually, the very near future. But anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting because that reminds me of that verse, Matthew 6:26. It says, "Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?" So it says that God will feed you, and then that's interesting because you can literally go to the churches around the city every single day and get fed. That's
They're not quite that good, but
well in my
you
city,
won't
yeah.
starve to death. You won't starve to death.
Yeah, no.
Um, Around where I live kind of country. I'm not necessarily homeless, but a couple of years ago, I was without a job. I didn't have a job and really no money coming in, but um, between a few different things, I always kept food in my pocket. Well, I didn't necessarily do it. It's most of it, came by me. Well, one time I went down the road and I seen a ditch, and my friend told me that if I make this trap, I can catch crawfish. So I started putting this trap in the ditch, and I ended up catching more crawfish than I could eat.
Nice.
Hmm.
And I ended up selling the crawfish, and that kept money in my pocket.
Yeah. Well, in my cases, when I needed help, it came from other people, or at least when I got it all. And when it didn't, well, I stayed, pretty much just stayed in bad trouble. Yeah, shelters were problematic.
Do you think if you detransitioned, you would have an easier time finding work?
No, once the holes in my work history are dug, then there's pretty much no way out. So, I mean, the whole way or a big part of the way discrimination works is once your history is scarred, so to speak, you're dead. So who gets their history scarred? Who has things go wrong for them? Oh, people have discriminatory actions taken against them, right? So, just like it's called colorblind, right? Well, geez. The trouble is, who gets the little colorblind merit badges and demerits and so on is not colorblind. So step or two removed. You know, people can claim arm's length and, well, I didn't do it and so on, and that's how it goes on. I've heard that some shelters in the Bay Area take trans people and at least keep us separated so that we don't get infected. Of course, I didn't have quite as defensible a claim to the gender identity and so on to the point where. Go ahead.
Nadia, you were talking about you know, doing the different churches to get meals, and now do you drive or are you walking?
Walking.
Walking. Yeah, that's
Yeah, lost
that's
my car like 4 years ago.
that's like part of the process too. All right, Fritz, what you're not thinking about is Nadia, when Nadia goes and gets something to eat, right? Whereas you and me, basically just go to the refrigerator. It doesn't take a whole lot of energy to go to the refrigerator and get some food. But Nadia may have to walk a mile, 2 miles, I don't know, 3 miles. Just
Yeah,
depends,
it's about 3 miles. Yeah.
where you got to go each day to get food. So a lot of his energy to go that he eats gets burned out in the
I'm a
walking
her.
process.
I'm a her.
So you need a lot more, walking to go get your food. You need a lot more. You just need a lot more food for it to be worthwhile.
I'm a she and a her. Thank you. It is my room, you know. That's a big factor. Time is another big one. It's getting from place to place eats up, good hours in a day or whatever.
Yeah,
And for that matter, go ahead.
I can't necessarily run. Most people can't run those 3 miles either. Most can't. Walking it, like you said, it'll probably take you 30, 45 minutes just to walk it. So by the time you go eat, you eat the food, you can spend 2.5, 3 hours just to go get the food between going there and coming back.
And then the time it takes interferes with doing anything else during those times. But well, most of the time there isn't anything to do. So mean, it's not like anybody will hire you off the street. Once you do hit the street, you really are dead.
So
You're there until you're dead.
you're living on the streets, or you have a place?
I do for now, but I'll get thrown out eventually. Once you really do hit the streets, you are dead. You're there until you're dead. There's no way out. And in the very rare exceptions that prove the rule, it takes years and years.
Well, Nadia, I spent I'm 46 years old. I spent from 20 to 25 on the streets.
Yeah, and
I spent for 5 years of my life living just like what you're talking about, going from homeless shelter to homeless shelter, meal to meal to meal. And I didn't stay there though.
yeah, and how many of those besides you followed you up and out?
I didn't hear you say that again.
How many of those alongside you followed you up and out?
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. It's not necessarily easy. I'm not in the same town that I even I, I had to leave the town that I was in. Just the whole thing is, if it's easy to be there and you're used to what you got to do to just survive, then that's what you'll do. You got to leave where you're comfortable at and go where you have to get up and you have to work to get out of it. It's not necessarily easy, but staying stagnant to where you're at, where it's easy and you know how to be homeless, it's a lot to do with it. It's like you know how to go get you a meal to go eat pretty much every day, don't you?
As you might have guessed, I've done a bit of time out there myself.
But you know pretty much what you need to do. If you wanted to go out and live the rest of your life out like that, you could do it fairly easily.
No, actually, I would die.
Yeah, eventually you'll die, but it'll take you no effort to go out and basically live off the street until you die or someone kills you. That a lot of times that's what happens too. You get caught out one night and you get frostbite or something like that.
Well, yeah, there's probably not in the Bay Area, but
Yeah, south.
regardless, I mean, it wouldn't be like a waiting game of 20 to 30 years or something. It would be a matter of mere months. No, not even that. Months. And you see, I'm in and out of the hospital all the time, right? Not because I feel like I have a sniffle. Better try to rope the doctors in looking after me. No, it's when there's a slightest hiccup in my medicine supply, I start dying, and I'll finish dying without like phones to call paramedics and so on.
Yeah, Nadia, you don't want to die that way and find out what's up. You gotta find a way to want to live, like Nadia.
What does it matter what I want? I mean, it's not even possible.
But I'm just saying that's your problem is you're losing hope in living. That's not a good position to be in. You're right. If you think you're only once you hit the streets, you're only a few months from dying, then you're right. You're probably right. You will just die. So you got to find a reason to go ahead and want to live.
Well, okay, there are 2 or 3 problems there. Well, they're all kind of the same big problem, which is
So you don't know how to motivate yourself to want to live.
what does motivation matter?
And so basically you're saying that you're just an automaton, that you've got no control of yourself.
Well, you don't even have to be an automaton. Just helpless. Yeah, people who aren't helpless, at least in some circumstances, no one would ever run up on the street in the first place. The entire condition is a product of, and well, even an instance of being helpless, right? You are helpless to shelter yourself or protect yourself or even bathe yourself or anything else. I mean, is there such a thing as helplessness, right? Or is everyone MacGyver?
Well, you don't necessarily have to be MacGyver. I'm just saying, you gotta want to live. You don't sound like you're wanting to live. I mean, it comes out in everything you're saying.
Well, I don't, I'd say I wouldn't want to live like this, but yeah, there's oh, actually, I think I only told Fritz before you signed on. It looks like there's another hangout going with a lot of Calvinists. If you're interested in talking to them, we can hop over there. I'm actually already over there. I'm double fisting hangouts.
I'm not Calvinist. I can't deal with Calvinists.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I can't do the Calvinist thing.
It's all right.
They give me a brain fart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you going over there to the Calvinists? Is there another hangout going?
Yeah, I'm in both at once. Yeah. I don't know if we merged over there. We'd have like 6 other people to talk to besides me. And Calvinists or not, at least they believe in Christianity or whatever.
So they're in a position where they just basically believe that it's not under your control.
In a way, you can
Is
suppose ask for clarification.
Is that what you're believing? You're believing that things are out of your control?
Well, there's a bit more to it than that, but in some respects, I would say there isn't genuinely a me to be in control. But
Do you believe
okay, here's the link.
I'm sorry.
Here's the link. I put the link in the side chat to the Calvinist room. Matthew 4:19 is in there if you've heard of him. Yeah, let me see. Jeremy Bennett, Matthew 4:19, Rick Hart, and Tom Jude 3. So.
I'll go in there and listen to him for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep this going as a fallback, and well, while we're busy, I'll move my audio over there. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go on over there then.
Okay.
All right.
Oh dear. Well, basically, there is a the name itself is kind of doesn't directly speak to their beliefs. They regard it as symbolic of their opposition to, I guess, the Abrahamic faith and such. So the real content of their belief is not so obvious. And well, we got digging into what the real content of their belief was, and also asking a fair amount about what on earth they were thinking, trying to pick that imagery to symbolize themselves and so on and so forth. And I mean, a lot of people just thought, I don't know, got my impression that the imagery was kind of like just sort of like being deliberately offensive, and then there was little actual content that you can't really just get from elsewhere, namely things like anarchism and I suppose the various kinds of balances between individualism and collectivism within that. So go ahead. Yeah, we pretty much asked that, and it was like they had trouble producing much more than just a symbol atop that sort of anarchist position to provide any attraction beyond what anarchism already has. So right, right. Mm. That was Crowley. Crowley, yeah. LaVey has the what is it? 11 satanic rules of the earth and the 9 satanic sins and so on. And they pretty much both rejected LaVey and Crowley, but held to similarly spirited principles with pretty obvious you know, flaws fixed up and so on. Is it unchristian to celebrate Halloween? Is that the question? Mm. And yeah, I have two. No, you wouldn't hear my headphones. Looks like it's Lou. How'd I know? Happy birthday. Mm. Oh, you know what they say about computer programmers? They can't tell the difference between Christmas and Halloween because DEC 25 is equal to OCT 31. Well, it's a joke. Yeah, it's not like it's some kind of serious attempt at gematria or anything. Mm. Holidays, for the most part, haven't meant much to me over the past, maybe 20, more like 30 years. But on the other hand, in the mid 2000s, I tried to like maybe establish Halloween as a holiday where actually do something, basically, go out to events and so on related to it, get into the whole costuming, pageantry, and so on. And I did enjoy it a lot, but those, well, beyond those days, hell of life's over now, so never again. Samhain. So, It was Samhain, a Celtic holiday for the end of summer. Generally celebrated at 15 degrees Scorpio, which vary in its particular date, as opposed to October 31st. And anyway, that I believe involved the stag-headed god Cernunnos chasing after evil spirits with the Cernunin, which are kind of like, I don't know, hounds of hell or something like that, in a vague manner of speaking. They were aggressive supernatural dogs, and that's where I think the pagans say it came from. Oh, and the witch goddess, what is it? Rhiannon in Britain, Macha in Ireland, and Epona in Gaul. Same goddess, three names, different countries. Went out during Halloween or Samhain or whatever, and did something unspecified. I don't remember what. Oh, I remember jack-o'-lanterns, I think, were originally turnips, not pumpkins. I don't remember how they became pumpkins, though. And I think not everywhere either. I think only Scotland or something like that. I don't think the glorification of evil was part of the pagan roots, but you could say it might have come up as time since, yeah. 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 No one's heard of the horn god Cernunnos or the witch goddess. Well, the witch goddess Rhiannon. They might have heard the Fleetwood Mac song. I have no idea what it was. My world's on fire. I'll settle for anything. It, I think you're thinking of Lemaitre, and I don't think he was really the one who built it all up. I think it was more Gamow than Lemaitre, but okay. Well, there's a good question. There are like surveys done about Catholics' views on social issues, and they don't actually follow Vatican doctrine very closely. At least in the poll data shows that, it's pretty wide divergence. Mm. Fish on Fridays, yeah. Well, from sort of my own point of view, I guess on the evolution statement, directly, I'd say that it's a pretty good idea for, you know, gets the leadership for a billion Christians to get in line with, science and find a way to reconcile, whatever the creation account was to, what we don't know. And, I think for relatively good reason. I think essentially because it's kind of a better way for at least this scientific questions and the methods of faith, right? If you're going to answer a question of that kind, then the way to do it is, basically using the natural methods and so on.